What's up, YouTube? Shout out to the Mackies and Maniacs. I'm back with another true story. This one is a gambling story, since you guys want more gambling stories. And we could call it Scared Money Don't Make No Money, or we could simply call it Josh Hamilton. No matter what you call it, welcome to another episode of kevmacvideos True Stories. Welcome to another episode of kevmacvideos True Stories.
I give a roll, you know what I'm saying? Cruising down the street in my city car. Oh, I hit front, back, side to side.
From my glow, my dog, the pimp, the hog.
Check it out.
Had this dope, sweatshirt and loafers on.
That was it. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard till it was a shame.
Welcome to another episode of kevmacvideos True Stories. This episode takes place in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Hilton Casino, July 9th, 2011. There was a group of guys that I used to sit in the sports book with, talk to, my homie S-Mac and a couple of his friends, the basketball coach. His name always slipped my mind when I get ready. Ivory Manning. When I get ready to do these interviews, I usually forget his name. But Ivory Manning, a few other guys, Rory and Nate from the Bronx, New York. Nate was a real cool dude. And again, this is mentioned in my book. And me and Nate chilling. And Nate is always like, Nate ain't no hater. Nate was always kind of rooting for me. I don't know if he thought I was going to throw him some money or because we was cool, but he was always positive type of guy. And I'm a nervous wreck right now because I had been losing money. And so when I say scared money don't make no money, I talked myself into betting $800 on an 8-team parlay. This Josh Hamilton dude reminds me, you know, he was before Mike Trout, so he reminds me a lot of Mike Trout. He was a power hitter, came in like second in the home run derby early in his career. He became an all-star, and these are the type of players that I like. And I was always cheering for Josh Hamilton. I wasn't a Texas Rangers fan, but I'm going where the money at. Josh Hamilton was the baddest white boy I ever seen since Pete Rose, man. This dude was a hell of a player, man. And I really like to see this guy play, man. It was always fascinating to see him play. And I actually got to see him play in person at Dodger Stadium one time. And it was well worth the wait and well worth the watch, man. I'm telling you, man, you don't hear his name anymore. I don't know what's going on in Texas, in Arlington. They may still talk about him, but I never hear his name, probably because of the drugs and alcohol. But this guy was an athlete. He was a bad dude. He was a clutch hitter. And I always talk about clutch hitters and people that come through in big games. Josh Hamilton was one of them. Josh was a money type of player. I mean, I can say so many good things about this dude, but I'm trying to stick to the story. And my crazy ass putting $800 on an 18 parlay that people call sucker bets. People say they don't bet that many teams, and I ain't never hit that many, ain't seen nobody hit that many, all that negativity. To me, Josh Hamilton at the time was the heir apparent to Barry Bonds, who happens to be one of my favorite all-time players. So prior to this day, about 2 days leading up to this day that I'm talking about, Josh Hamilton had took a foul ball and he threw it up in the crowd. A Rangers fan named Shannon Stone reached over the railing and he fell over the railing to his death. And this weighed heavy on Josh's heart. Fans all around Major League Baseball was talking about this. Some people were blaming Josh, others wasn't. They started talking about implementing rules where you don't throw a ball in a crowd like that. So there was a lot of publicity and negativity surrounding Josh at this time. Mind you, the Texas Rangers are in first place at this time. Like 8 or 11 games, something like that, ahead of the next place, Oakland A's. Shout out to the Bay Area. This was the second game of a 3-game series, and the Texas Rangers had a 5-game win streak. I mean, there was nothing about Texas you couldn't really like at this time. To me, this game appeared to be easy. It had winner written all over it. Kobe Lewis was pitching for the Rangers that day. I think McCarthy was pitching for the A's. I just can't see losing this game. So let me get into how I pick my games. Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, it doesn't matter if it's collegiate or professional, whatever the sport, what I like to do is look at the games and see how many games that I really like, that look good to me as far as great possibility of winning. So there might be 2 teams, it might be 3, 4, or 5, might be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I don't go into it saying I want a 2-team parlay or a 7-team parlay. Unless I'm looking for a certain amount of odds to bet small money to win big money. But the general rule for me is to pick how many games that I see as winners to me. Of course, every day you're not going to see a bunch of teams you like, and you're not going to always stick to the same strategy if you are as sporadic as me. So there's some days where I'll take a bunch of iffy games. You know, I call it playing the lottery. You're hoping things fall your way. But other days, I expect things to fall my way. So this particular day, I'm feeling the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Braves, your typical suspects for people that bet favorites and bet every day on Major League Baseball. I made a mistake. The Braves wasn't on there. So I parlayed the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, White Sox, Angels, Reds. I might be forgetting one. But then I took the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers was the last game that I put on this parlay. And they were actually the last game playing this evening. I don't recall if it was because of the time the game was scheduled or because the game was lengthy. So I find myself cheering for the Texas Rangers to come through because my other 7 teams won or was winning big enough to where I was only worried about the Texas Rangers. And they were locked up in this game, losing 6-5 in the late innings. Nate from the Bronx knows I love baseball, and he peeped me out for years betting baseball. And he always would say he want to learn baseball, blah, blah, blah. And so he was kind of like the student that didn't pay attention in class. I'm trying to tell Nate, here, take these games. I give Nate the 8 teams. Oh, that's too many. So I narrow it down for him. Just take these. I don't know. So Nate doesn't bet them. I believe Nate may have picked 2 or 3 of the games I gave him and then added his own game on there. And that game didn't work out too well for him. But he stayed with me the entirety of the games. And now I'm very nervous. I never get this nervous. My hands are super sweaty. They used to get sweaty when I shot dice, but on baseball, I'm very rarely sweating a game because I know how it's going to go for better or for worse the way the game is going. At least I like to think that anyway. So I'm usually calm and collective is the point that I'm trying to make. But this time I'm not calm and collective. And because I bet $800, that's a lot of money to be betting on a parlay. And it's going to win a lot of money. I don't remember how much money it's going to win, but I'm going to estimate 40-something, maybe 50-something thousand. Because some of the teams were favorite, so I don't get this astronomical payout that I would usually get. But it's like 40, maybe 47, 50,000, something like that. And I really want this win. I want it bad, man. And I really felt good about this ticket up until I have to sweat this Texas Rangers game out. I'm going back and forth with Nate. Man, I'm going to lose. Nah, I got this. I'm going to lose. I got this. But now It's the bottom of the ninth inning, man. I have to get a run to at least go into extra innings. 2 runs to win the game. And there was this one guy, I forgot his name. He was fast. It's in the book. He was a fast guy. He got on base. And so I'm happy because Hamilton had bet 4th that inning. So now this means Hamilton gets in at bat in the inning unless they get into a double play. So I'm feeling good about my chances now. Hamilton's a good power hitter, so he could get me a double. That's not out of the ordinary. He could hit a game-winning home run. That's the type of player Hamilton was. I'm sitting at this desk looking at the big screen. I got my fingers locked in, my hands sweating like crazy. And I'm rubbing on my thighs for good luck and trying to get the sweat off my hands. I done made my blue jeans to where they getting faded. I got dye on my hands now. The blue dye is on my hands now. Crazy, man. I'm getting up. I'm pacing. I'm sitting back down. I'm angry. I'm yelling at people that's trying to talk to me. And I can remember, I don't know what I put in the book, but I can remember walking out of to the exit. And there's a wall right before the exit to where you can't see the TVs. I'm hiding behind the wall and I'm peeking to see what's going on. And then I go back behind the wall like I know I lost. So I'm looking at the screen, hoping something good happened or knowing something bad happened. So I'm done. Now I believe I went and sat down. I don't remember if I sat down or I stayed up, but I remember this guard was on my bumper like, he's tripping off of me, and he's bothering me. And it seemed like this at-bat is taking forever. Seemed like a 30-pitch at-bat. Because time just slowed down, and I'm going crazy for no reason, really. I'm just sweating like a mug, man. If you could sweat your brains out, I surely would have sweated mine out this particular time. And boom, after taking a few pitches, got me worried as hell, Josh Hamilton hits a 4-seam fastball over the right field fence. I started screaming and yelling, man. I'm all happy. I'm excited. I'm going crazy, man. This is one of my most heartfelt, exciting wins that I ever got. For all the 16 parlays and 5-team parlays or even 10-team parlays that I hoped or thought I would win and they didn't end up well. Man, this one right here felt so damn good. It's like it made up for a lot of those losses. And I couldn't be more happier with Josh Hamilton, man. He came through for me big time. Filled my pockets up big, man. The actual amount of money that I won this time was $52,000. I won $52,000 on this parlay for $800. This story actually reminds me of myself because the troubled guy actually came through. Josh being a troubled guy, me being a troubled guy, Josh hits a game-winning home run, I win a parlay ticket. So I felt the connection to Josh from here on out. And so I wanted to tell that story because y'all been asking about a good story, a big win, a gambling story. So I knocked all that out with this. But I'm going to tell you, man, there have been a lot of losses from me and a lot of other gamblers. So if you're thinking about gambling or you just started gambling, look, don't believe the hype. Everybody ain't winners. Everybody don't win all the time. Those that are experts in certain sports, they're not really experts. They just win more than they lose. They just have had some great memorable wins that wiped out some of those losses. And that would be what this one was at the time, man. This one made me feel so good and got me back financially. I got some more like this, too. I just got to think them out, man. I can remember hitting some big parlays back in the days, 2010, 11, 12, back in those days. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. You can leave a comment if you like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Man, I'm out of here. I got all kinds of stories I tell. I'm gone. Salute.
True stories. True stories. True stories. True stories. True stories.